shallow running crankbaits, guys. Let's talk about the do's and don'ts of shallow water cranking. Shallow diving crankbaits, square bills, whatever you want to call it. It's something that I utilize a lot down here in the South, especially here on Lake Okeechobee. Believe it or not, I fish them around the grass and submerged vegetation. If I get up North Florida on Lake Seminole, I'm throwing it around the laydowns and the trees and some of the sandbars. You know, shallow running crankbaits are good around the country and basically year round. Let's talk about some of the do's. Number one, when to throw it, right? I love to throw a square bill in the spring. I love to throw a square bill like during that pre-spawn time. A lot of those big fish will set up on those rocky points or a big lay down tree in a spawning pocket where I can run this crankbait down the side of a big main beam log and catch a lot of those bigger fish. In the summertime when there's a shad spawn going on, I'll take these square bills a lot of times, get up shallow early in the morning, again, looking for docks, floats, running down the side of a tree, whatever it may be. A lot of times you'll catch a lot of fish. Or when you're fishing river systems like the Tennessee River, getting out there on those shallow bars where a lot of times those fish will school up in the summertime, start feeding on bait, you know, those 2 to 4 foot sandbars or oyster bars. All right, let me show you this crankbait, guys. Brand new from Bass Mafia. It's called the Fugitive. It's a 2.5 inch, small, compact square bill. Got a computer board lip, which is great. It casts really good. It's kind of a hybrid. It's a flat side, but yet it's wide enough that it has that round wobble too. So it's that in between, which I kind of like, because there's times that I want to throw a flat side and then there's times I want to throw a traditional, you know, round bodied bait. This is that kind of in between, so it kind of works all the time. So I found myself fishing these style of crankbaits, these hybrid flat sides, more so than just a regular flat side or even a regular round. The other thing I love about this bait right here, it's super accurate, okay? Because it's heavy, guys. It's a 1/2 ounce right there, small, compact. You can make very accurate casts. So again, if you're trying to make those casts down the side of that lay down tree, maybe there's a couple limbs sticking out, you don't want to like drift your bait over into the limbs. Baits like this that cast accurately, you can retrieve them back through all that thick cover. Just really, really good. I can make those precise casts, and that's a big deal. And we'll talk about the rod line and all that stuff, because that's some very important stuff I'm gonna talk about. The Fugitive has a wide range of colors. This is a regular standard, you know, shad color here. We got a little chartreuse black back, which is kind of a staple up shallow for some reason. Lots of cool colors. One that I don't want you guys to sleep on here, and I'm very excited they came out with this little blue baby looking thing, right? Blue with a little green pumpkin back to it. The reason this color is so cool, if you fish anywhere on tidal water, especially Potomac River, Louisiana, Texas coast, this blue bottom really drives those fish crazy. This is a color that is very unique to a lot of square bills. I haven't seen this out there at all, hardly. So if you're into tidal fisheries, you got to get this one right here. It's a pretty cool color, guys. But again, they've got a full range here. Got the gold, of course. I use this a lot in Florida. You know, I'm fishing Kissimmee or Toho, and I'm going to throw this over the grass, submerged grass. I'm going to fish this gold colored bait. And the other thing about these baits here, they're silent, okay? You might hear a little bit of rattling, but that's just the hooks moving around. No rattle system in these. A lot of the crankbaits have them, some crankbaits don't. This is a silent one, but this thing makes a lot of noise. The hooks are hitting and the things are, but there's a lot of vibration. And that's the thing about this, kind of this hybrid flat side. And you'll see your rod, you know, when you're reeling it through the water, your rod is really loading properly. And that is just sending off shock waves in the water. Those fish feel that vibration. And that's really all they need to kind of just track this thing down and strike. So no rattles in this particular one here. Great hooks, you know, again, you don't have to replace the hooks on this Fugitive. Come with really premium hooks. Again, computer board lip. Just a pretty bait, just really well designed. And when I hold it in my hand and I feel it, it feels right. It feels right. So they did a great job on that. Now let's talk about rods, reel, and especially line. I got a couple really good tips on that. All right, rod and reel setup. On these type of crankbaits here, I'm gonna throw a shorter rod. I'm gonna throw anywhere from say a 6'10" up to a 7'2", depending on where I'm fishing. And what I mean by where I'm fishing is, this is a 6'10" right here. I'm gonna have this rigged up on typically 15-pound line. This is the P-Line Tactical, which I prefer, which is a nice, really good fluorocarbon. This setup, if I'm fishing down a shoreline, for example, or I'm fishing down an area where there's a lot of lay down trees or rocky shorelines or riprap banks, This is gonna be my kind of my go-to, that 6'10", 15-pound line. I can make a little bit better accurate cast down the side of a dock, for example, down the side of a floating pontoon. That 6'10" allows me to make really accurate casts. This is a rod by Lew's. It's a TP2. I love this rod. This entire series is a very simple series. It looks good, it's plain, but I tell you what, guys, it is sensitive. It is economically priced. It's just a good rod. I just like it a lot. Lots of different actions in this particular model as well. But again, a 6'10" to a 7'2" is going to be my go-to on this type of crankbait. Now, when I'm going to go to that bigger rod, it's when I'm going to be like here at Okeechobee, for example, and I'm out in open water, or I'm at the Tennessee River and I'm making long casts across a big shell bar or a sandbar, whatever it may be. I like that little bit longer rod because I get a longer cast. I'm not trying to be super accurate on making bomb casts out in the grass or on a sandbar or a shell bed. I just want to get that extra distance. And so I'm going to go to that 7'2". Again, that medium to medium heavy rod action is kind of where I want to be. I don't want a noodle, okay? I like a rod with a little bit of tip because I want that bait to kind of make that tip kind of thump, but I want enough backbone in that rod, and that's what these TP series has. They have a nice little soft tip to them, but a lot of backbone right here, and allows me, when that fish bites and I set up on it, that spongy tip, a little bit of a sponge in the tip, allows that fish to inhale the bait properly, and then when the backbone finally catches up to that strike, then it sets the hook in there really good. So that's basic setup there. Reel retrieve wise, I mean, you can kind of get away with anything. I'll throw 8-to-1s a lot as well. Not that I'm burning the crankbait by any means, but I'm really just kind of reeling it kind of medium to slow retrieve most of the time. I'm not going to burn it. I just want it to get down there. You'll kind of feel it, right? And here's the biggest tip I can give you when you're fishing really any crankbait is change up the retrieves. You know, deep diving crankbaits like we talked about a few days ago, really boil down to, you know, the speed of the retrieve of that deep diving crankbait. Do you need to trigger them in the summer or do you need to slow it down in the winter? Square bills are a little bit the same, you know. Do I reel it constantly? Do I pause it, reel it a little bit and pause it? Do I try to, like, you know, kind of snap it every once in a while? If I'm around grass, I am snapping it quite a bit because I don't want a little bit of grass get wrapped up on these hooks. So I'll be reeling it. And if I feel that vibration of that rod change because maybe there's a little strand of grass on the back hook, I'll stop, give the rod a pop, and then keep reeling. I want to feel that vibration a certain way. So if that changes, you know something's up, whether you got a piece of grass on it, moss, or whatever it may be. So pay attention to how that feels, especially when you start getting bit, because you want to try to replicate that as much as possible. Line, again, anywhere say from 12 up to 20. I'll throw 20 on these square bills. Now, when would I throw 20? When I throw 20 was when I'm trying to maybe stay above that submerged vegetation a little bit more. Because 20 is going to make this bait go from, you know, on 12-pound line, this bait's going to run 4 to 6 feet on a long cast. But with 20, same cast, it's only going to go 3 to 4 feet deep. So you can, you know, you're shallower. So if I'm going down a shoreline and I'm trying to just keep that bait above the laydowns a little bit, not digging into the dirt, or I'm fishing down a real super shallow sandbar or oyster bar or shell bed, I might go to 17, right? I might go to 20. But most of the time, 15 is kind of where I land. And again, I like the fluorocarbon, the P-line's good. And that's my basic setup there, guys. You know, color-wise, again, shads, your chartreuse. This one right here, again, don't sleep on that dude. That's unique. That's a very unique color, beautiful color, one of my favorite ones right there. And it's black and blue, right? Everything loves black and blue. Well, give those tips a shot, guys, and also check out this brand new bait by Bass Mafia. They did a fantastic job with this particular one here. And yeah, so hopefully those tips and techniques will help you catch a few more fish. We'll see you guys.